is the US heading for another 9/11? The Pentagon certainly thinks so. May not be as dramatic, but a terror attack nonetheless. And this time, the threat is not from Al-Qaeda, it's from the Islamic State of Khorasan province, or the ISIS-K, Islamic State Khorasan, that's what they're called, the new face of terror in Afghanistan. How soon could they attack? In 6 months. That's the shortest estimate. Right now, both ISIS-K and Al-Qaeda are rebuilding. They're recruiting more youth. They're training them. They're looking for more equipment. So as things stand, neither can carry out foreign attacks, not Al-Qaeda, not ISIS-K. But that could change soon. The Pentagon says ISIS Khorasan could be ready to hit the United States in 6 to 12 months. What about Al-Qaeda? 1 to 2 years. Listen to this.
I think the intelligence community currently assesses that both ISIS-K and Al-Qaeda have the intent to conduct external operations, including against the United States, but neither currently has the capability to do so. We could see ISIS-K generate that capability in somewhere between 6 or 12 months.
That was Colin Kahl, the US Undersecretary of Defense. According to his assessment, this is not a probability, this is a fact. ISIS-K and Al-Qaeda are rebuilding and they plan to strike the US. How does Washington plan to respond? Believe it or not, they're banking on the Taliban. Here's what the Pentagon official had to say. Let me quote. "It is our assessment that the Taliban and ISIS-K are mortal enemies. So the Taliban is highly motivated to go after ISIS-K. Their ability to do so, I think, is to be determined." Think about what the Pentagon is saying here. This is the same Taliban. They fought for 20 years. The same Taliban that killed more than 2,000 American soldiers. Today, Washington wants them to be partners. They say the Taliban is highly motivated. But are they? Here's what a Taliban spokesperson said last month. "We do not see anyone in Afghanistan who has anything to do with the Al-Qaeda. We are committed to the fact that from Afghanistan, there will not be any danger to any country." We don't call this motivation, we call this denial. According to some reports, there are more than 2,000 ISIS-K terrorists in Afghanistan. They are constantly plotting attacks on the Taliban, on mosques, and on Shia gatherings. Afghanistan's Shia community is their biggest target. Will the Taliban help them? They won't. The Taliban is a predominantly Sunni group. During the civil war, they hunted Afghan Sunnis, Afghan Shias rather, and nothing suggests that they have changed. So Joe Biden must ask himself this: is he presiding over a 9/11 in the making? Let me remind you what the US president said after the Afghan pullout. "I believe that our presence in Afghanistan should be focused on the reason we went in the first place, to ensure Afghanistan would not be used as a base from which to attack our homeland again. We did that. We accomplished that objective." Well, not according to his Department of Defense. America's 20-year war was a band-aid on a bullet wound. They spent billions of dollars, they lost hundreds of lives, and for what? 6 months of difficult peace? Is ISIS or Al-Qaeda, if ISIS or Al-Qaeda rather attack the US, it will be Joe Biden's failure. He thought he won the war. He thought the insurgents and terrorists were defeated. But the fact is, you cannot defeat shadows. All the terrorists had to do was survive. And they survived for 20 years. This assessment by the Pentagon is worrying for the US. But it should also ring alarm bells in the neighborhood. In countries like India, think about it. ISIS-K will take 6 months to hit the US, and America is 12,000 kilometers away from Afghanistan. India is right next door. So the threat is immediate for South Asia. Whether it's sleeper cells, radicalization, or direct attacks, what options does the world have then? Pressure. Push the Taliban to take action on other terrorists. Withhold aid until a meaningful plan is drawn up. The world has a 6-month window to contain this threat. Once ISIS or Al-Qaeda regain full strength, it could be too late. Do or die. That's where Afghanistan stands at the moment. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.